You want to know the absolute worst thing about humans? They don't know when to quit. No, seriously. Every other species in the galaxy has the good sense to accept defeat, to understand when the universe is telling them, hey, maybe today's not your day. But humans? Oh no. Humans take that as a personal challenge. Let me tell you about Marcus Webb. I'm Qrill, by the way, station controller for Outpost Vexa 9. And before you ask, yes, controlling a mining station on the edge of nowhere is exactly as thrilling as it sounds. My job involves monitoring oxygen levels, checking structural integrity, and making sure the automated systems don't accidentally vent everyone into space. Exciting stuff, right? Anyway, 3 cycles ago, we had this human engineer arrive. Marcus Webb, tall guy, always had this stupid grin on his face like he knew something nobody else did. The mining corporation sent him to upgrade our extraction equipment. Fine, whatever. Humans were good with machines. I'll give them that much. Everything was normal for about 2 weeks. Marcus did his work, cracked jokes that nobody understood, and consumed an alarming amount of something he called coffee. Then the incident happened. Now, I should mention that Outpost Vexa 9 isn't exactly state-of-the-art. The station's older than my grandmother, and she's been dead for 30 cycles. When the main power core started failing, we knew we had maybe 6 hours before everything shut down. Life support, gravity, communications. Everything. The protocol was simple. Evacuate. Get everyone to the transport ships and leave before the station became a very expensive coffin. Simple, right? Except Marcus was in Sector 7 when the lockdown protocols engaged. A safety feature, they called it. More like a death sentence. The sector sealed itself off automatically, trapping him inside with no way to override the doors from either side. The power failure had corrupted the emergency systems. I tried everything. Believe me, I did. But the doors wouldn't budge, and we were running out of time. I had 247 people on this station, and I couldn't risk them all for one human. Even Marcus understood that. I saw him through the security feed, nodding at me through the camera, giving me that same stupid grin. Then he said something I'll never forget. Qrill, buddy, you get everyone out. I'll figure something out. Figure something out? Figure something out? The man had 3 hours of oxygen, no power, and was sealed inside a section of the station that was about to become a frozen tomb in the vacuum of space. What exactly was there to figure out? But what could I do? I evacuated the station. All of us packed into the transports and watched from a safe distance as Outpost Vexa 9 went dark. Every light, every system dead. I filed the incident report, marked Marcus Webb as deceased, and tried not to think about how I'd left someone behind. The corporation wrote the station off as a total loss. Too expensive to salvage, they said. Just another piece of debris floating in the black. We moved operations to a newer facility and life went on. That should have been the end of it. Except 4 months later, we received a transmission from Outpost Vexa 9, from a station that was supposed to be completely dead. The message was audio only, crackling with static, but the voice was unmistakable. Hey Qrill, Marcus here. So, funny story. Remember how you guys left me for dead? No hard feelings, by the way. Totally understand the whole saving everyone else thing. Very reasonable. Anyway, I've got the station running again, and I could really use a pickup. Also, I made some improvements you're going to want to see. Bring coffee when you come. I'm out. I played that message 17 times, convinced it was some kind of malfunction or a cruel joke. But the signal was definitely coming from Vexa 9's coordinates. The science officer, a Threxian named Dorna, calculated that a human couldn't survive more than a week in those conditions, even with rationing. For months was impossible. Yet here we were, receiving a transmission from a dead man on a dead station. The corporation, naturally, wanted to investigate. Not because they cared about Marcus, mind you. They wanted to know what he meant by improvements. So they sent me back with a small crew and enough supplies to last a month, just in case. As our ship approached Vexa 9, I expected to see the same dark, lifeless hulk we'd abandoned. Instead, lights were on. Not all of them, but enough to show that someone, somehow, had restored partial power to the station. Dorna checked her instruments 3 times. The readings don't make sense. The station is operating at 40% capacity. The main core was completely destroyed. This is impossible. I was starting to hate that word. Impossible. We docked without incident, and the airlocks cycled properly. Already weird. Inside, the corridors were lit by jury-rigged lighting systems that looked like they'd been assembled from spare parts and sheer stubbornness. The temperature was stable. The air was breathable. And standing there, waiting for us in the docking bay, was Marcus Webb. He lost weight, sure, and his hair had gotten longer. But he was alive, grinning that same infuriating grin. "Took you long enough," he called out. I just stood there, staring at Marcus like he was a ghost. Which, technically, he was supposed to be. Dorna's antennae were twitching wildly, a sure sign her brain was trying to process something it fundamentally rejected. I finally managed, are supposed to be dead." Marcus shrugged. "Yeah, well, I got better. Come on, let me show you what I've been working on. Fair warning, though, some of it's a little unconventional." Unconventional. That's what he called it. Unconventional. As we followed him through the station, I realized that calling it unconventional was like calling a supernova slightly warm. Marcus had completely rebuilt major sections of Vexa 9 using whatever he could find. And I mean whatever. The power conduits were rerouted through the mining equipment. Life support was running on a modified version of the ore processing filters. He'd even converted 3 of the cargo bay doors into makeshift solar panels. So here's what happened. Marcus explained as we walked, completely casual about the whole thing. "When you guys left, I had about 2.5 hours of oxygen. Not great, but not nothing. The emergency oxygen generators in Sector 7 were toast, but the mining equipment had these small atmosphere scrubbers for enclosed spaces, right? Those are designed for short-term use in small areas," Dorna interrupted. "They would have failed within hours." "Oh, they did. Multiple times. But I kept fixing them. Then I daisy-chained 6 of them together, which nobody recommends, by the way, but desperate times and all that. That bought me enough air to work on the real problems." He said it's so matter-of-factly, like jury rigging life support systems while slowly freezing to death was just another Tuesday. I wanted to strangle him and give him a medal at the same time. The power core was the fun part, he continued, leading us to what used to be the main engineering bay. Totally destroyed, like completely unsalvageable. But you know what this station has a lot of? Ore. Specifically, processed thermionic ore. Highly radioactive, absolutely terrible for mining profits, which is why it was just sitting in storage containers, right? I felt my stomach drop. "Marcus, tell me you didn't build a reactor out of mining waste." His grin got wider. "Okay, I won't tell you that. But hypothetically, if someone were to build a makeshift reactor using thermionic ore and parts from 17 different systems that were never meant to work together, it would look a lot like this." He gestured to the monstrosity in front of us. It was beautiful and terrifying in equal measure. A patchwork reactor that somehow, impossibly, was generating enough power to run 40% of the station. Warning lights blinked across its surface, but it hummed with steady energy. Dorna's scanner was beeping frantically. This shouldn't work. The energy output is stable, but the design violates at least 9 fundamental engineering principles. 12. Actually, Marcus corrected cheerfully. But it does work. Been running for 3 months now without major issues. Well, except for that one time it almost melted down, but we don't talk about that. "We? Marcus," I said slowly. "Who is we? You've been alone here." "Oh, right. I meant me and the station AI. I rebooted her about 6 weeks in. She's been helpful, though she complains a lot about my safety protocols. Or lack thereof." A synthetic voice echoed through the corridor. "That is because your safety protocols consist entirely of, let's try it and see what explodes." "Marcus." He laughed. "See? Helpful and sassy. I named her Vera. Seemed appropriate. I was experiencing what I believe humans call migraine." "You rebuilt the station AI?" "Rebuilt is a strong word. More like convinced her corrupted backup files to cooperate. Took a while, lots of trial and error, but she came around. Anyway, want to see the best part? Before I could say no, he was already walking toward the mining operations center. The rest of us followed because, at this point, what else are we going to do? The mining center had been transformed. The extraction equipment wasn't just operational, it was improved. Efficiency readings showed a 30% increase in output over the original specifications. The quality of the process was higher too. I had a lot of time to think about the design flaws in the original setup, Marcus explained. The extraction laser frequency was all wrong for this particular asteroid field. I recalibrated it, optimized the processing cycle, and added a few automated sorting systems. Oh, and I fixed that annoying rattle in drill number 4. That thing was driving me insane. Dorno was frantically taking notes. The corporation will want detailed schematics of everything you've done. Already prepared. Vera compiled all the technical documentation. I also have some suggestions for the station's structural reinforcement, better waste recycling, and a redesigned crew quarters layout that doesn't make everyone feel like they're living in storage lockers. I looked at this human, this man we'd left for dead, who'd somehow survived the impossible and made it look easy. Marcus, how did you stay sane? 4 months alone on a dying station with nothing but scrap and hope. His expression got serious for the first time since we'd arrived. Honestly, I couldn't let it beat me. You know that feeling when something tells you that you can't do it, that it's impossible, that you should just give up? Humans have this thing where we hear that and think, watch me. I wasn't going to let some busted station be the thing that killed Marcus Webb. Plus, I really wanted to see everyone's faces when you came back and found me alive. He grinned again. Totally worth it. The corporation didn't just pick Marcus up. They gave him a promotion, a bonus that could buy a small moon, and put him in charge of redesigning their entire station network. Outpost Vexa 9 became operational again, more efficient than ever. And me? I learned something important about humans that day. They're stubborn, reckless, and absolutely terrible at accepting reality. But sometimes, just sometimes, that's exactly what you need. Because humans don't know when to quit. And thank the stars for that. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.